Hey guys, Max here. So recently I've been doing some research into electric scooters for myself. I generally drive a Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe, which I love, but it just kind of makes no sense to drive to gym when it's like a few minutes away. And then I have to look for parking. Being in New York City, it's pretty tough with parking, so I figured, why not just get a scooter? So that's a big rabbit hole right there. Once you start looking into these electric scooters, you have so many options. Problem here in New York City with recent passing of the law, most of these electric scooter stores have to have specialized room in order to be able to sell these electric scooters. So options where to find these scooters, it's pretty limiting if unless I want to buy it online. And I personally want to see what I'm buying. I want to see how it looks. And when I started doing research, again, what I was looking for is range and the speed. And of course, Segway, it's like, I don't want to call it the Apple of scooters, but it's pretty known here, and I think it's easiest to find in stores. So this is Segway Ninebot Max G2, and I bought this from Best Buy, which is great because I have Best Buy membership, the Total Care, which gives me the warranty, extended return periods. So it was kind of like a win-win. And usually when I buy something, I look for something that's the best. And yes, there is, I would say, more sportier of Segway, but that specific model is not available in Best Buy. Actually, they're pretty hard to find, the sporty versions. The cost of those scooters are 2,000 and above. This one was on sale for $9.99 and some cents, so let's call it 1,000. Plus, because I am a Total Care Best Buy member, I also got $100 off. So $8.99, and the review is actually pretty good for this specific scooters, and I'm talking about like the YouTube reviews. A lot of them have really good input, and lots of people rave into it, unless you start actually reading the reviews of actual buyers online. Once you start doing some research, there's a lot of complaints, and specifically the complaints that people have is referring to this, where it has like the shake. My personal dislike with this scooter is that it only has one brake. And you honestly do feel the brake when, let's say, you're going at 22 miles an hour and then you want to brake, it jerks you to the front and kind of makes you feel unsafe. There was one time where I was going 22 miles an hour going down a hill, and literally the front was stopping, but this back kind of jerked to the left side. Kind of felt very unsafe. So, what are the pluses to this specific scooter? It's lightweight. Comparing to what I ended up buying after this is lightweight. It is portable. I wouldn't say it's like super light. I think it's a little bit over 50 pounds. So it is portable comparing to what I bought, because what I bought was I bought NAMI Burn E2, and that one is 103 pounds. So this is a little bit over 50, and comparing over 50, a little, it's like, I don't remember if it was 54 or 50 something, but it's less than 60 pounds. So carrying this is definitely lighter versus than carrying over 100 pounds. Now, the speed range, when you guys start doing research on electric scooters online, just remember the speed range that is given, I would say it's an estimate, because it's usually someone who's 165 pounds and riding on like what, 15 miles an hour. So you get like the range. So not going the fastest, not if you're like 180 pounds, 200 pounds, then you're definitely looking at less of a range. You're still gonna get the speeds that, let's say, the Segway promises with G2, but just realize the range is gonna be definitely different comparing to, let's say, the model that they use to test the scooter. So the plus is, like I said, it's portable. It has an application where if there's an update, you could update the scooter through application. You could also make changes to the scooter. Some changes, nothing major. Like if you want to activate, like for example, passcode for the scooter, which is super annoying, you could do it through an application. And even for me, like if I try to move the scooter without putting in the code first, and you put in a code using a brake, you use the brake, and then you have the arrow here to the left, to the right, and that's how you basically get to the code. And the wheels lock if you did not put in a code, so it gives you that extra security for someone who's trying to steal. Does it stop them from stealing? No, because it's a little over 50 pounds. You pick it up, you throw it in the truck, and you go. Look at me being a professional thief right there, giving ideas. But yeah, so it doesn't stop anyone from stealing it. Like for example, the hip lock D1000, the lock that I bought, would be great over here. So you would have to secure it through this part. And honestly, a thief is not gonna cut through here. Those are 10-inch tires. It has the what do you call it, hydraulics. But I would have to say I feel bumps. I do. Even though all these YouTube reviewers saying, oh, you know, you get so much more with this versus the regular Max. The Max doesn't have the hydraulics, the springs, so you feel every bump. You still feel every bump. And let me tell you, when I go 22 miles an hour over a bump, I feel like I'm gonna fly off of it. It doesn't feel so secure. The tires are pretty thin. So just remember, there's a weight balance. So obviously, even if you're 165 pounds, there's definitely a weight on top of this. So you would have to maneuver your weight in order to be more secure on this specific scooter. But again, because the tires are pretty thin, I didn't feel so secure on it. It does look nice. It is part of a trend, Segway. There's a lot of Segway scooters out there. They look pretty modern, I would say. You could definitely look cool having this. And it does have turning lights over here, which is nice. It does have the light over here. The light kind of sucks. Honestly, it's not bright at all. You have your tail light over here. Sorry, in such a small space. But I'm recording this in my house and I didn't want to record the rest of the area. So, do I recommend it? Not for that price. Because if you start looking in the whole electric scooter space, there is a lot of options out there. The issue is not a lot of those are known brands, but if you look into popular stores out there, online stores, you could realize that there's a lot of competition out there versus for what you get. Better material, better range, weight. There's a lot of options out there. I know Segway is known, and Segway is pretty much in a lot of stores Also very easy to find online. Great refurbished prices on eBay if some of you guys are considering going the refurbished route. Like for example, this was again $1,000 in Best Buy without total care discount. And the refurbished model on eBay was around, I think it was $6.99. But there are a lot of refurbished models. Also, there's a lot of people reselling this specific scooter on Facebook Market. That also kind of tells me that there's issue with this specific scooter. It's nice that it just comes with a single charging cable, no heavy bricks, and you just plug it in over here. So that's a great option because it's built into it. The battery is nice. It charges actually pretty quick. The charge does sustain fairly decent. But for me, I also had the jerkiness here, especially if you're going fast. And this is the hydraulic. You could see it because I guess this part is thinner itself. There it is, the hydraulic. Look how thin this thing is. So because this part is thin, you see the jerkiness in the front, and that's where a lot of people are complaining with this specific part. I do have the Best Buy membership, but it doesn't mean you could just go in there and trade it in and they're gonna give you a new one. No. Like I bought a specific item from Best Buy. It's just basically discounted fixing option. I had to pay $100 for the other item in order for it to be shipped and fixed. So there's that. Like I said, there's also communities for Segways. It does have Apple Find My, which is great because the scooter that I ended up buying, I had to buy an additional attachment where I put the AirTag in, which basically gives me the same thing. And it's a cheaper option. I wouldn't say buy this just because for Apple Find My on it, but it's good to have. So the range is 23 miles or 70 kilometers, and range at max you get 25 miles. So it goes as fast as 22 miles per hour, but you have to activate that in the app. Out of the box, the fastest you get is 20 miles an hour per hour. But in the app, you have to activate that. You get one motor, and it gives you about 1,000 watts power. It has front and rear shock absorbent. And then again, you get the signals left and right. So I think it's a great upgrade from the Max itself, G Max. But there's a big price difference. I think there's about $400 difference if you're buying it brand new. Do I recommend it? For short distances, I guess so. Especially if you live like in Manhattan or in business districts where the distance travel is not long. This is great. It's good for traveling. But if you want an electric scooter that gives you more for your money, definitely not something to buy. For $1,000, you have a lot of other options. Or even if you add a couple of $100 more, then you're looking into more of like professional experience of scooters, longer ranges. There's just so many options out there. Literally. I believe if you're buying something, it has to be worth it, your investment. You're working for that money, you know? So it's this is pretty. It's nice looking scooter. But if you want something again worth the money, look elsewhere. And before you buy this scooter, don't base your purchase on YouTube reviews. Do the reading of reviews of actual buyers. There's a lot of one-star reviews, a lot. And literally, I've ridden this scooter less than 5 miles, and I could already feel the jerkiness. So the longevity of this is definitely something that I consider. Um, So, yeah, do your research. Don't base your purchase again on YouTube reviews alone. There are a lot of positive reviews out there. So, I wouldn't say this is an entry into exciting world of professional e-scooters, but I would say this is the top of the line for commuter type of electric scooter, and the charging is pretty fast again. So if you have any questions, please comment below. Thank you for watching.